Good morning. What I'd like to discuss this morning really is kind of a carryover from the last video I did, and I didn't really include this info, although I really meant to. I put it up as a link, but I didn't discuss one of the major things I wanted to make sure that everybody realizes and keep in the back of your mind about everything that's going on today. Okay, this has to go back to September 11th and the declared national state of emergency that was signed by Bush on the 14th of 2001 and still exists today and has been extended. This, of course, is the declaration of a national state of emergency. We all know that, that's what did happen. But when you look at what it actually means, it explains what is actually going on every day today, that people are like, well, what the hell are they doing now with this? They can't do that, they can't do this. Well, you see, the national state of emergency that was declared, this opened up 500 or so dormant legal provisions that allows for non-declaration of even publicly traded companies' accounting, net worths, debts, liabilities, all of it. So really, since 2001, we've been operating under a state of you make up whatever you need to make up in order to in order to get by, in order to make things look like they're normal. So really, every earnings report since 2001 has just been a lie. Specifically stated in Business Week back in 2006 brought that up again. There's a link to it in the article that I have here. This was Bush had ordered John Negroponte to specifically excuse publicly traded companies from disclosing accounting and their securities rules. The SEC has, if you're a publicly traded company and you sell stocks, you must declare, your liabilities, your earnings, your debt, all of it. Well, none of that has happened since 2001. In fact, the FBI in 2004 had warned of a great rise in mortgage-backed, banking activity. There was a huge rise in failures and investigations by the FBI. Well, at this point, when they started warning a lot about this, they were taking off these cases and put on national security detail, basically. So, as we look at the markets and the economy and all this stuff, just realize that by law, they don't have to report the reality. So that really brings up the collapse, doesn't it? In 2008. Well, of course, that was designed too. It was obviously there were those problems, but what was the collapse all about? Well, the collapse was to scare everyone with a bunch of big market drops so that they could come in and basically legally attack, the nation financially, attack you and me, take the money, print as much as they want. So, that's what happened. And this goes to Congress and the Senate now too. Of course, we do have a law. Whenever in this country, whenever a state of emergency is declared, every 6 months, Congress and Senate have to get together and vote as a whole whether it should be stopped or extended, another 6 months, where they are required to meet again. Well, this has never happened since 2011. William Black, I don't know if you guys know any, he's an economist. he basically came out and said, he was involved way back to the SNL crisis. He's a good guy. Black. Look him up, study him. He's been calling this stuff all along. He's one of the ones out there that has been calling it every single step of the way. And what he says next is not good either. But he says that he outright accuses the government of using a declared national state of emergency to cover for outright criminality. That's what he's declaring now. And of course, this is going now into Europe, what we see over there. These companies, everybody's saying, well, Greece and the Eurozone and all this, it's just a little blip in the road. We'll be able to bail them out and they'll be fine again. Well, that's not true at all. And as a matter of fact, as more and more articles keep coming out, we see that Greece specifically has 800% deficit compared to their GDP, and it doesn't get much better across Europe or the U.S., which is standing at 500% liabilities and unrecoverable debt to GDP. These are rates that cannot be fixed, and China is no better either. So really, this is a worldwide total collapse we're looking at, and the only thing that's keeping this stuff up is the fact that they have declared themselves basically immune from telling the truth about it. So as they just continue to print money, we're getting deeper and deeper into a hole we'll never get out of. That's the reality of this stuff. And this stuff, we're, of course, now we're in election year, so we're supposed to pay attention to the elections. Oh, yeah, we're going to get elections and we're going to turn all this around. It's a coordinated effort now. At this point, they're not going to allow any truth to come in, and they're not going to allow anybody to change it. So basically, we're in a domestic war with our own government right now, whether anybody wants to realize it or not, and with the world. Now it's just a race to the bottom. Now it's who, if you look deeply, what they really need to do now is these countries that are in huge financial problem, they need to devalue their currencies. All right, so now we're in a stalemate, like at the end of Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Everybody's standing around waiting for somebody to draw first. Who's going to devalue their currency first? That's what's going to happen. But all the secondary items, deflation, inflation, deflation, whatever, it's going to be deflationary, first. That's really the whole problem with everything. These prices have got to come down. That's what they've been doing ever since, last year with this. They've been pumping this money in to keep their valuations, keep the banks' valuations up. So they've spent trillions and trillions of dollars to keep the bank's valuations whole at the expense of all of us. But the wheels are going to fall off soon. There's absolutely no question about it. So I wanted to add that in and provide you guys a couple links. And that's all till I talk to you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye. Letting it run. Yep, I have to let it run a couple minutes here, or else my camera will turn off, and that's a really annoying deal.